Hi everyone, I'm appealing to those ones out there who are new to my channel to subscribe and share to all your contacts. And for those ones who have been watching and you have not done so, please try and subscribe. Right, there is one interesting news coming upon my table tonight, which is worth sharing. We all know that Niger Delta is a city of the good, the bad, and ugly. A lot of things emanate from this very particular state. Some people call it a state filled with milk and gravel. Why? Because the good endowed on them turned out to become a curse. It's a state that is supposed to be rolling on successful histories, rolling with the idea of progressive minds, state-of-the-art developments, infrastructures that are on a much level to the normal minds. But today, Niger Delta people are suffering more than any other state in the contraption called Nigeria. Most of the citizens, if I may say, never believe that their condition could be so hard. And it turns out for you to understand and believe that if we are not a politician, you will wallow in poverty and penury. Some of the citizens take it upon themselves to threat, to embarrass, most especially taking the laws into their hand, to go out of the way to make some comments that creates some level of development. Among those ones, and the one I would like you to understand today, is this news created by the ex-militant leader called Tompolo. Most of us understand this guy, ways of his operations, his outstanding creations in the state sometime years ago. But today, his actions, his intentions remains in the cooler. But it's like he's awake again. Why am I saying this? In some occasions, most of these guys likes to threat or likes to make empty threats, just like a bargain dog. Most of them are doing these things probably when their pockets are empty, when their bank accounts are drained off. They make one threat of the other to make sure they get attention from the federal government. But one funny thing or one shameful thing is this: the moment they are given a promise, or the moment something viable is stuffed in their pocket or account, that ends the threat. If most of the youths from Niger Delta region have serious minds or can be taken serious in most of their actions, believe you me, today, Niger State or Delta State could have been one of the interesting cities around the world people would like to visit. But today, when you give example of ghetto or shacks or similar things like that, Niger State becomes example of what we think about. I'm not counting upon the elderly ones because they are the Judas that made the region. I'm talking about these youths out there. They are supposed to mean what they say and say what they mean at any given time so that things could be turned around and the younger ones could think about a better future. If I may say, or if I may advise, it is high time they take their destiny upon their hand. Because if they wait for federal government to turn things around in Niger Delta, in the next 100 years, Niger Delta region might be the worst, ugliest state in the whole of Nigeria. But let's see what this guy is up to. This ex-militant leader is known as Tompolo. They called him alias Tompolo. He made some statement on this day, Sunday, 30th May 2021. He issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to inaugurate the substantive board of Niger Delta Development Commission, known as Nddc. Tompolo Ibe Ebidowe of Ijaw Nation made this statement. He said, I wish to call on Mr. President, members of the National Assembly, and security agencies to work towards the constitution of the substantive board of Nddc within a few days to avert a total breakdown of law and order that will equally affect crude oil exploration and exploitation activities in the region. He said, I hereby pronounce a 7-day ultimatum starting from the day of this publication to inaugurate the substantive board of commission. Senator Akpabio's temporary reprieve from the Ijaw Youth Council protest is a child's play compared to what is to come in a few days' time. He is about to be awoken to the rage of the Niger Delta region. He warned the ex-militant leader who had remained silent in the creeks of Delta State after federal government court Lagos dismissed the charges against him, stated, I have watched and observed with keen interest the circumstances surrounding the constitution of the Nddc board for some time now. I would have continued to keep watching and observing, but for love of the region and the country, I must say this. The continuous running of Nddc by a sole administrator at the instance of the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Akpabio, is undemocratic and anti-development, hence unacceptable to the people of the region. The people of the region are averse to a one-man show in a commission that is supposed to attend to the developmental needs of 9 states, namely Abia State, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa State, Cross River, Delta, Edo, Imo, Ondo, and River State. It will likely set the region on fire sooner than later. The act establishing the commission provided, among other things, that it will be administered by a board comprising of a chairman, managing director, executive directors, and commissioners who will be drawn from the 9 states that made up the region, or that are into this Nddc scheme. However, This provision has been blatantly undermined by Senator Godswill Akpabio and his co-travelers in the presidency. There is no provision for either interim management committee or sole administration in the act that establishes Nddc. Common sense will tell you that the so-called forensic audit that has been used by Senator Akpabio to strangle the commission could still be best conducted with the substantive board that brings up operate representatives from the 9 states and other parts of the country. Making a threat is one thing. Working towards the threat to make it come true is another. It is a tall order to work towards the threat, to make it a reality, or to perform according to the actions. We are not new to a Nigerian environment. We are not new to thoughts and ideas of people of this country. Let us see if this guy will live up to his threats, for good or for bad, because we understand how things works in Nigeria when it involves political jingles. Because in the next moment right away, you will see this guy, who made this threat, walking like nothing is happening. Because we know somehow upon every situation concerning this Nddc, they're all crying and acting jangle because most of them are put aside. Nigeria is a country where money talks and bullshit works. And this very system will never be an exception. Let us see in few days' time, according to his 7 days ultimatum, to see if something meaningful will come out of it. Spread this information and let us cross our fingers as we watch the developments coming up in few days' time. I thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day. See you on top.